Okay, I have another song for you. Excuse me. Brown Eyed Girl by Van Morrison. And super easy, super easy. Again, with a couple little interesting spots in it. But chords, really easy. G, C, D, E minor, D7, 2, 2, 2, 3 on that last string, the A. And that is it for that is it for chords. So before we get into it, there's a little intro, and the intro chords are just really simple. G, C, G, D, real simple. But it has a little, not a single note thing, it has a little melody that's, I'll play the single notes. It's and then it goes into the vocals. So that's the little melody, okay, and it's just based on a G major scale. And then it would go. But it has that higher note that I played an octave lower. So those are the notes of the G major scale. And they're good to know. So let's just do that really quick. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, so it's a little unusual to drop down at the end. So if we went up, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And that's the G major scale. There you go. So, like I said a minute or two ago, it's not a single note part. Okay, it's actually a little harmonized single note part. So, harmony is when you play two or more notes together. So that is actually. So I'm playing two notes. So can you hear that original melody dun, 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 is in there, but I've added on top of. Okay, so I'm playing the 3rd fret here, the 2nd fret here, on the E and the A strings. Okay, and you may recognize that as part of a G chord. Look at that, that's exciting. Okay, so the first chord of the song is G, and that is a G. Okay, then that next little bit actually looks like it's part of a C chord. What do you know? No, an F chord. Sorry. And an F isn't even in the thing. Okay, ignore what I'm saying. It's still a melody. So, G, A, B. G. So that would be like an A minor. Yeah, which goes with the C chord underneath it. But anyway, I digress. So, is the first bit, okay? Then it goes up, 5th fret and 3rd fret, Then it goes up, 7th fret and 5th fret. So, okay, and for this, we'll talk about a little bit of technique thing. I like to use these 2 fingers for something like this. Okay, then when it goes up, I don't like to do that. I like to use this finger. Okay, so what that does is it keeps my fingers 1 finger per fret. So here, the 2 notes are 1 fret apart. So I'm using 2 fingers right next to each other. So they're 2 frets right next to each other, 2 fingers right next to each other. Okay, then the next part, there's actually a fret in between that's not used. So I make it so that there's a finger in between that's not used. So I'm skipping a fret, I'm skipping a finger. And I find that that just helps keep everything nice and even instead of going. So here I'm stretching, here I'm not. So not stretching, now stretching, now stretching. I don't like that. It kind of throws me off. But if it works for you, totally fine. Okay, so the beginning. Then the next melody line, we're on that last string, so we have nothing that we can add. So we need to take this note and move it up here to the 8th fret. Okay, and now it's the exact same thing, the exact same pattern. So, there. Then back down. Then, so I'm playing that 2nd fret on the E string with the open A. So back to the first little bit and then the second part. So the whole intro is now. Then it repeats. Okay, then it doesn't go back to that because now the vocals come in and you're already on the G for the verse. Okay, so now the verse is G, C, G, D, just like the intro. And you do that 4 times. So, 1, this is the 2nd time. 3rd time. 4th time. Now C, D, G, E minor, C, D, G, D7. Okay, then the chorus, actually, sorry, it does the D7, another verse, so it does the whole thing again. Then at the end of the verse, the last line of chords that I'll write out, C, D, G, now the D7, goes into the chorus. Excuse me. So let me make sure I have the right amount of times. Yes. So the last D of the verse is 4 beats. then the chorus starts with 2 measures of the D7. Did I say D7 at the end of the verse? I should have. At the end of the verse, the D7. Then the chorus is 2 more measures. So it ends up being 3 measures, and sort of vocally the chorus starts at the end of the verse-ish. But as long as you're keeping track of how many measures you're playing each chord, it all works out totally fine. And when you hear it, it sounds smooth. Like when you think about it, you go, okay, well, but then there's 2 extra D7s thrown in. Like, okay, I guess. But when you actually play it, it totally sounds smooth and makes sense. So then the chorus is G, C, G, D, G, just like the intro in the verse, beginning of the verse. D. So you play it twice, and then G, G. Then, excuse me. Then there's this like little bass part, and I played bass in a cover band with a friend of mine, Frank, and we used to do the song all the time. One of the things I really kind of irks me about cover bands, even though I've been in a bunch, is it always seems like we're doing the same stuff. Like every single band does Brown Eyed Girl, and it's like, but then again, whenever we play, we start playing it and people jump up and start dancing. So what are you gonna do? People want to hear it, you have to play it. But the bass solo, I always was kind of like, I would look forward to it because I got to do like the little bass solo part. And because I played bass in this band, and it was fun, you know. And people would always be like, "It's super easy," and people would always be like, "Wow, you know, like that's awesome how you played that bass solo in Brown Eyed Girl." It's like, I guess it's real simple. But so the chords are G, surprise, G, C, G, D. Surprise, right? So the bass solo. Yeah, look at that. Not only did I remember how it goes from years ago, I haven't played the song in a long time. From years ago, I figured it out on ukulele. So, it's easy. I'll write it out. I'm going to have to put a note to type that out. Okay. So anyway, from there, it goes to a verse again. G, C, G, D, G, C, G, D, G, C, G. So it's doing this 4 times. Is the verse, and then the ending of the verse part, C, D, G, E minor 7, C, D, G, D7, going into the chorus. It's just the chorus again. And now all of a sudden, I'm kind of drawing a blank. I know it fades out. I think it just fades out on the chorus over and over and over. Yeah, it's just the G, C, G, D, G, C, G, D. just over and over and over as it fades out. That sounds right to me. If I'm incorrect, then just let me know. But I'm pretty sure that that's all it does. That's all I have written. But sometimes I forget to write things out. I'm looking at, like, you know, my crazy messy notes and everything with, like, arrows because I ran out of space and, like, it's terrible. Good thing I can play music, because I can't do anything else. But I believe that's it. Brown Eyed Girl, pretty easy, pretty simple. So there you are.